back to Show Me St. Louis. Before the break, we asked you what Chesterfield Valley was originally named. It is see Gumbo Flats. Now, divorce and family law matters can be overwhelming, both emotionally and financially, and they're also confusing. But our next guest is working to change that experience here in St. Louis. Joining us live in studio is Mark Haefner, attorney and founder of Haefner Law Office. Mark, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we talked to you last month a little bit about your office, client-focused approach, flat rates. But what we're here to talk about today, I'm really particularly excited about, because we're going to answer some common questions.
Yeah.
So the first one is, we have an uncontested divorce versus a contested divorce. What does that mean?
So an uncontested divorce means you and your spouse have agreed on pretty much everything, how we're dividing the property, what we're doing with the kids. You know, sometimes you don't have the specifics down, and we could definitely help there, but all we're really doing is you're hiring me to draw up the paperwork to get your agreement legal and make sure everything's correct, and make sure that not one side is totally destroying the other side. Those are so much faster, cheaper, and better, in my opinion, especially if you got a co-parent with this person for a number of years. After the divorce is done, the last thing you want to do is spend 20, 30, 40,000 on a lawyer and then be like, okay, now we have to work together to raise the kids.
Right, right. So going off of that then, when it comes to a divorce, you mentioned it a little bit, but why do you want it to be uncontested?
Well, when you get divorced, it's going to cost you three things: time, money, and stress. And the time, a contested divorce, if it's going to go all the way to trial, is going to probably be well over a year. It's going to cost you an absolute fortune. And what I think people really discount is how much stress you're under by everything being so uncertain. I mean, how your family's going to look, what your money looks like, where you're going to live. All that stuff is just weighing on you, and I don't think you even realized until it's no longer weighing on you how much you were trying to carry around. So the sooner we can get it done, which is an uncontested divorce, we can do it in about 45 days from hire to finish, to a contested divorce, which, like I said, can last I've seen some of them go 5 years, which is just crazy. But it does happen. So if you can do an uncontested divorce, I highly, highly recommend it. It's going to save you, again, that time, money, and stress. And it's also going to save your kids all that stress and the uncertainty.
So let's talk about contested divorce then. You know, you mentioned 5 years, 1 year, whatever it might be. Does it usually end up with a judge making the decision?
So in a contested divorce, I would say we settle over 90% of ours.
Okay.
And generally, if both sides have good lawyers, and you know the other side's always like, oh no, they hired a good lawyer. You want the other side to have a good lawyer, because that lawyer's going to know this is a reasonable settlement offer. It's the bad ones that really drag things out. But by and large, we're able to settle your case somewhere along the way. Sometimes it's after we go to mediation. Sometimes it's just by shooting letters back and forth. The important thing is to probably try and work on settlement sooner than later, and don't be so stuck in the mud. I mean, I'll tell you, divorce court is not where you want to go get your revenge. It's not going to be where you're going to try and punish someone. You'll never be happy, and it will never be good, and it's just going to cost your family in the long run.
Yeah. Well, you are a wealth of information, Mark. I know you have your book here. We were showing it just shortly time ago, but My Exit Strategy. So people can just call, and you'll actually send them the book for free, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Over 20 years I've been doing this, and these are kind of just the common questions I get, and I thought I'm going to try and take the mystery out of this, give a little bit of advice. And it's a book. You just flip to the chapter that's applicable to you. You don't have to read it start to finish, and just see, okay, you know, what are some testimony tips, for example, or what's the best parenting plan in the courts? So little things like that.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing some of those questions. Now, Haefner Law Office, they're practicing family law in St. Louis City, St. Louis County, St. Charles County, and Jefferson County as well. You can learn more, flatratedivorces.com or kck.com/showme.